So we're in the middle of a Boreas brittle field here. And right now the experiment we're in is a series of commercial checks. So these hybrids are being sold. And so this row right here is a competitor. That over there is Pioneer 1366. So you can see the difference with screening, what it sorts out. Obviously we don't want this, we want that. The way the Boreas works is we blow on multiple days. So the Boreas, it's a big wind machine. We'll look at it a little bit later. It's a huge wind machine that just simulates high gusty winds. And so it comes through here and it breaks corn. And usually by the time a hybrid goes commercial, we'll have, oh boy, I hate to even say, well over 35, 40 data points of just Boreas plus natural brittle stock we observe in the field. And that can be upwards over 100 data points of that.
So does all the varieties go through that Boreas?
Everything does.
Everything.
Yep. We'll start not at the earliest stages, but starting at R1 stage, R2, 3, 4, 5, and then new commercials. They're all screened every year. York is one location. We have multiple locations in the United States. We do this. There's certain GDUs. We know where corn is most susceptible to brittle snap, and so we'll target those GDUs, and we blow it. Blow it 3 times, early, middle, late. And some hybrids will break on the early side, they won't break the late. Some hybrids break all the time. And really what we want, every hybrid will break, but we want that window to be as small as possible. And when it does break, to be not as severe.
Does the machine travel through the field?
Yep, it'll travel through the field.
And it's straight down, or it's forward or backwards, or
it's
as
both.
far as wind, it's
Yep.
all of the above?
It's not side to side, but we'll blow it forward, backwards, and we get that plant rocking back and forth, and we're trying to get it to rock hard enough to snap.
Okay.
Is the goal. We do this at night, so we'd like to have cool nights. If we can get it down to 60, full water profile, those plants will snap really easy in general. Maybe this night it's a 35 mile per hour wind will break. Next night, if it's 75 degrees, it might take a 70 mile per hour wind. It's just really environmental dependent. But these are probably 2 experimentals, I'm guessing. And you can see this is probably their last year of existence. They'll probably hit the trash can after this year with this level of snap. At the end of that 5 or 6 years, what's nice is we're able to really understand, okay, what's the risk? So we put a brittle score on there, and that's really the overall risk. And we factor in, susceptibility to the early snap period, middle snap period, late snap period, the timing of it, and then also the severity of it. And so if we rate something an 8, that's really good. And that means, hey, it doesn't really have a super susceptible window, and when it does break, it doesn't break really bad. The interesting thing as we've kind of advanced is the original hybrids we used for our susceptible checks that would break a lot. The new stuff, none of that's as bad anymore. So we have to actually hand make that seed because we don't sell things that are that bad that we even sold 10 years ago. And so the bar just continually gets raised. When a customer has brittle snap, it's not a fun experience, but I do feel a little bit better knowing that it could have been a lot worse if we weren't doing this screening. And we got the data out here to prove it of the hybrids we sold 15, 20 years ago. The storms we've had this year in Nebraska, they would all be like this. It's less than 1% of the material out here is going to see a grower's field. It's well less than 1%. So the failure rate is extremely high. And the reason the failure rate is extremely high is because the success bar is so high. It's hard to be good enough to make it through, to be in a Pioneer bag. It's really difficult. Okay, so this is the wind machine. You can see it's raised up as high as it can go now, but with big hydraulic cylinders, so we can adjust it based on, this year we have short corn, so it's a little bit lower, but you adjust it based on the height of the plant. You're just trying to, that goes in those calibration strips. You're just trying to make sure you get the right percent of break based on historical genetics. So like in Nebraska, the past few years, seems like the past 5 years, we've had pretty significant winds some week in October, right?
Right.
And they've been for like 4 days in a row. So we've actually went to using this machine to simulate stock lodging. We're finding out that's about one of the best replicators we can find of late season standability.
Yeah, it's easy to see the work that is being done here is impacting us for the better. Like I said earlier, the Mother Nature is a beast to be reckoned with, and they are trying to eliminate that factor as best they can because we don't have control over it.